Here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about the Colts and the 2023 draft and examine it and see what we think their grade is because, well, Pro Focus gave them an A+. Let's get to it.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind.
So Pro Focus gave the Indianapolis Colts an A+ for the 2023 draft. I think they did really good. Anthony Richardson has a lot of plus to him. Athletic, big arm, can run it, can run over people, hard to tackle. Got a hell of a jump. He can, he can pretty much sky over anybody. I think it's a 10-foot vertical. So he's got a lot of plus to his game. Now, the negative, he's not very accurate. But hopefully they could develop that with Shane Steichen being the head coach. And they said a lot of it's footwork. We'll see how that goes. So first off, Anthony Richardson, that's definitely, I would give Anthony Richardson pick, we'll give it a B+. And the reason I say that is because he has a very high ceiling, but it wouldn't be that big of a surprise if he fell. So if he fell on his face, it wouldn't be a huge surprise to me in that quarterback position. Now, he could also play about any other position. Would he be willing to? Doubt it. At least not with the Colts. I'm sure he'll want to get drafted or something. But that's here or there. That's way out there, somewhere in left field. And we shouldn't even be talking about that because I doubt if it happens. I'm sure that he's going to be a good quarterback, turn into a great one. I can't wait to see him in the season, but that's definitely B+ or an A-. It's really kind of floating in between there for me just because they need somebody dynamic. They got somebody dynamic, but is he going to be dynamic in the NFL? I have high hopes. We'll go with that. All right, so they got Julius Bennett out of Kansas. And he's a corner. We needed a corner. He's actually a pretty good corner, too, at that. I think they got him as a steal. Tall, speedy guy. I think that he's going to be a good addition to the Colts' defense. Now, he was speedy for everybody in the college. I mean, he could keep up. He was dynamic. He interrupted a lot of passes. He played a hell of a position, but will he play well in the NFL? We're not going to judge that part of it. We're going to judge what he was in college because we have no idea what he's going to be like in the NFL, right? Right. So we're going to judge his college performance, and I got to give it an A. He's one hell of a player. I think he's going to do well for our defense. All right, so out of North Carolina, we got Josh Downs. Now, Josh Downs, good receiver, excellent receiver. He does have issue here and there, with catching deep passes, but he's not really a deep man. He's more of a slot that could go deep. So he has a lot more pluses than he does negatives. Gets off the line pretty easy, doesn't really struggle with that. However, NFL is definitely different. So, as we see with all rookies. But then again, like I said, we don't know how he's going to perform in the NFL. I can only judge how he performed in college. So, we're going to give that an A as well. So, there's 2 A's and a B, and we're going to move on. Then out of BYU, we got an offensive tackle, Blake Friedman. I believe Blake Friedman's going to be a game changer. Athletic, fast, can block well when he needs to. But here's the thing. If you notice, as I'm moving down this list, we got a lot of athletically fast draft picks this year. more than normal. I feel like that Ballard is kind of seeing the scheme of the way things are going in the NFL now. I think he's trying to make him who he wants fit, or who he wants to fit in today's NFL. I really like this draft class. I really do. He's going to need some help. Now, he plays well, but at the same time, certain guys manhandled him a little bit. And to watch him play, he is a nonstop robot. He really is. He wants to be great. You can see it. I give it a solid B plus. Solid B plus. And then we pick up out of Northwestern a defensive tackle, and I'm going to screw this name up, so I apologize, y'all. Adi Tom Iwa, and then it's Eddie B. Ward. Eddie B. Ward. I know I messed that up. Comment, go ahead, trash what I said. I don't care. I think y'all know who I'm talking about. Quick, speedful. I think he's a little light to be playing defensive tackle. I think he's just under 200 pounds. Big guy. He's very prideful. You can see it. I think that he can be coached to do well, but he's got some improving to do. I give him a B, maybe a B. I'll call it a B minus. A B minus. Really good though. Really, really good. Move down a little bit further. We get another corner out of South Carolina. Darius Rush. And I don't see how he was even there. He's an A plus all day long, every day, all day, even on Sundays. Always, at least I hope on Sundays, right? So, really good corner. We got probably the two best corners we could have picked up in the draft in the positions we were in. The Colts did start drafting back, and they tend to do that a couple of times that I thought they were going to screw up. I really thought that Rush was going to be gone. He was there. We got him. Kudos to the Colts, because when we traded back, I was thinking, what the hell are we doing? Here we are trading back. Ballard doing this shit again. But we ended up picking up who we needed anyways. And then out of the 5th round, we got safety Daniel Scott. I honestly have not seen any tape on this guy, but what I've heard is he's really raw, really fast, lanky, tall. I really, like I said, I don't want to speak too much about him. I don't know a lot about him. And because I don't know a lot about him, I'm just going to give him a B. And the reason why is because I've heard a lot of good things about him, but I personally have not watched any film with him. Sorry, guys. Just haven't. And then we get to another 5th rounder out of Miami. It's a tight end. Now, he does not block very well. Will Mallory. So he has an issue of not being able to block. I don't know how else to say it. He's a decent tight end on the little screen pass, or a small block and going upfield, just a little chip, but he does not run block or pass block very well. So that's going to have to be addressed. But he's a good receiving tight end. He really is. We'll see how things go. He does probably need to put on some weight if they expect him to block more, but he needs to be worked with his hands, positions, how to block. He needs to put in some time with the coach, with the offensive line coach, or the I don't know what you would call it, but whoever's going to train this dude to block, he needs to be done. And I'm going to be done with that, because that's basically his very, very poor skill set that he has is blocking. It's not good. but we'll move on from that. We're going to give him a C plus. So we also, but as we move down, this is going to start happening. We got a Northwestern running back, Evan Hall. Now, Evan Hall, I'm not real sure why we picked up, and it may be because he was the best one on the board at the time. Whether he be on the practice squad or whether or not we trade him, I don't know. He's an okay running back. He's not that bad. He's fast. He's a little on the light side, but he can bulk up easily, become more powerful in the NFL. But he can get fast. He can get down the field. So maybe a special teams guy. I'm not real sure. But you're talking about 176. So I'll give him a solid C plus. We'll give him a weak B minus, because he is good at what he does for his size, and from what we can expect out of him for as far down as we're getting him. And this is the bottom of the fifth. So 6th round, we got defensive end, and it's Thaddeus Leo, I think is how you pronounce his name. With that said, he's now 6th round pick, 211, and needs help. He's C plus. I couldn't tell you a whole lot about him other than the fact of what I heard during the draft and what they said about him, which is he's a player. He's a guy. He's definitely a guy, and he tries to do his job, but he needs to improve. So we'll give him a solid C plus. So with that said, of us going down this list, I say a solid B plus is probably more of my score for the Colts. It could easily be an A minus, but Anthony Richardson plays all this out. Without Anthony Richardson performing, the rest of these picks kind of go squat. Because I'm grading this on their play, yes, but the overall score, if Anthony falls on his face and not able to play the quarterback position in a way that we need him to play in. Now, with that said, we ain't gonna know this for sure for at least a year or two. I mean, we got to give him a couple years. So a year or two, we'll talk about this, but he really needs to play well to make this draft come together. Because without him, this draft won't come together. My opinion, I just don't think it will. However, there is 2 or 3 picks I did not get on this. I think we got 221 and 236, but those are the rounds that I think we got the best out of what we had, and I think that Ballard did a job. He did his thing. He actually did a decent job this year, and I think it's going to show on the field. So, Colts fans, let's get excited, and let's watch them win. Maybe not this year, and honestly, if they don't, no sweat, because we have a shot to get Marvin Harrison Jr. next year in the draft. So if we have a year like we did in Peyton Manning's rookie year, I'm not worried about it. It's going to give us some good draft equity to help build our team for Anthony Richardson the following year. And it'll show. And we will have everything put together next year. Now, if he does well this year, good. But I think it's going to pay off if he does all of his improving next year where it shows on the field. Leave your comments, like, subscribe, tell me what you think. Video maybe lasted too long, and I do apologize. Trying to get better behind the camera, but please like. It helps with the algorithm for YouTube. But I will catch you guys on the next one.